Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Games Industry Executive Summary. We are back this week with, of course, you heard the amazing, I'm changing it up today again.
Amazing. Okay.
The amazing Dave
like
Fear. And, of course, as always, the analyst, Manu Rosier. Welcome
Hello.
on board, German.
Thank you.
Welcome on
Good
board.
to be here, as always.
Gentlemen, I want to tell you about something.
All right.
I recently got 2 additional PS5s. So
Wow.
this household was a PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch household, and we sold the Nintendo Switch in anticipation for Nintendo Switch 2 this week, tomorrow maybe, or is it today? I forgot which one it was.
Today. Right?
Today. Okay. Maybe not going to get it, and my prediction, as I told you before, you'll probably find Nintendo Switches on the shelves in a month or so. However, so here's a big recommendation. If you are planning to get 3 PS5s, do not set up child accounts.
No,
for your kids.
I agree.
Because that will, fuck everything up. And you will deal with the worst customer service experience I've ever gone through. Just beyond me. Crazy. And so here's what happened. I have 3 TVs side by side. And I have 3 PlayStation 5s side by side. And we're trying to play Elden Ring, Nightreign. We're trying to play Call of Duty, like whatever it is. But on the PS5, and this is beyond me, if you set up a child account under the age of 18, I believe, you cannot change the age.
No.
And you cannot manually add games, like force the system to add games to the child account. It seems like, Manu, you have experience in this department. What's going on?
It's terrible, but it makes sense. Otherwise, the kid would just change his own age,
But why not just?
But you can put that on an app that's only on your phone, or I don't know.
Exactly.
There's lots of ways. People have ways of doing that.
I agree. Well, I mean, come on. My PlayStation account is still in Belgium, and I've left Belgium for 11 years, and I cannot change the country of my PlayStation account. So I have low expectations from PlayStation.
You have bigger problems.
Yes.
Yeah, mine is still American, but they haven't put tariffs on Elden Ring yet.
Good. There you go. So you can play one game at least. No, but this is. But the thing is, you could do it on the PS4, but they change it on the PS5. They don't allow you to change the age.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, here's another learning, by the way, which is really painful. So if you bought a lot of stuff on Fortnite, right? What is cool? I'll talk about the cool thing, which is you can link your accounts to a one account. So, but if you delink your account, like let's say. Originally, we bought everything through the Xbox on Fortnite. So we have that, and we have all our things, and it was really easy to move that over. But as soon as we realized, oh shit, I cannot use the child account anymore because Sony is blocking me, so I had to create a new adult account, and I had to relink stuff. Here's a solution, because Epic doesn't allow you to relink a PlayStation or Xbox account. So what you do is, you change the email in case you want to reuse the same email. So you change the email on the Epic account. You delink the accounts from Xbox and PlayStation. You start a new Epic account with the email account that you intend to use. And then you relink the accounts. It took me almost 5 hours back to back.
I totally spaced out the third.
Yeah. I mean, don't even start. Don't even start. But anyways, that was a learning. Let's talk about something more fun, which is Elden Ring Nightreign. Have you played it? Are you playing it? Do you care?
I don't have any friends, and it doesn't seem like I want to play it without friends.
It's absolutely a game you should not play without friends.
This is what I hear. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I've been playing it with 2 of my friends. It's fun. You die a lot. And I'm thinking about now I see why the price point was where it was. It was a sweet spot. That price point was a sweet spot. I agree with it. I would not recommend charging more, which I normally do, as you know, for certain games. But I think what I'm seeing so far, the game has maybe 20 hours of gameplay, and then after that you're tapped out. And we are right now roughly at 10 hours. and we already feel like, okay, we get what this is. I think, yes, it's fun, it's challenging, it has a lot of cool mechanics and things like that were not available. The movement system is amazing. Like the core gameplay, the minute-to-minute gameplay is really fun.
Is it very
But
different from Elden Ring
it's
normal?
completely different.
Oh,
There
interesting.
is no, like, from a movement and attacking and like that, like the you have to rewire your mind. It's
Interesting.
almost what I would say, Dave. Um, what I would say is it's almost like an in between Monster Hunter and
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls, somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
between there. Very very fast movement, but the attacking is a bit awkward because you have to really manage your not the mana, the what's the other one, the stamina, um, and the movement, like the actual running in the game, is extremely fluid on one side, like very very fast and fluid, but the attacking is the opposite. You have to be very deliberate and really like calculated on when you attack and how you attack. So those are, like, some of the things, and then of course like the randomization of how you find things in the world. Like, you're always on the move, that type of thing. Very stressful. Like, in Dark Souls and Elden Ring, these types of games, you can pace yourself. You can decide the pace if you want to,
Mm-hmm.
but here you're almost forced to follow a certain pace, and you're forced to go between location to location to location, and just, like, find better gear, upgrade your gear, kill more monsters, that type of stuff, level up your character. So it is a different experience. I would not say this is like for everybody who is a fan of these types of games. Rather, not these types, the dark fantasy, Dark Souls-ish type of games. But it absolutely does bring something new to the table. Will I play it more than 20 hours? I do not believe so right now. Would I go back to original Elden Ring? Fuck yeah, I would.
I mean, we know you would. Here's what I'm worried about, actually, is that it could damage the brand a little bit, because Elden Ring broadened it so much by being by far the most approachable from game.
Mhm.
And from what I hear, again, no personal experience, from what I hear, this is not an approachable from game. And so I worry that some of those Elden Ring fans are going to be like, oh, awesome, another from game. They're like, oh, this is why I didn't play these before.
When you say approachable, do you mean from an accessibility point of view? From a
Well, I feel like when you talk about accessibility, you're generally talking about like accommodations for color blindness and motor problems and that kind of thing. When I think about approachability, I'm thinking about difficulty, broadly speaking. How easy is it? How to like engage with it? How punishing is it? That kind of thing.
I would say to that point, the difficulty is not necessarily further away from what we're accustomed to, but I think it adds a bit more difficulty because you're forced into a path, a narrow path. In the other
Mm-hmm.
games, you have the choice of taking your time, observing the enemies, that type of stuff. So I can see how this is maybe more targeted to the people who've already experienced, and, like, when I was playing with one of my friends who's a bit nerdier and much younger, has more time, right? That person knew all the names of the monsters and all the names of the bosses, and could tell us, like, watch out for this thing, watch out for that thing. So I can see how that can be very challenging, like for a completely new player who's never played these types of games. That can be a big problem because
Mm-hmm.
they will, like, I don't even have time to observe a monster or a boss to understand what are the patterns and how do I counter these things. So I'm with you. I think what I would say is this: if From Software would ask me, "Hey, should we do this again?" I would say probably not. Like, um, just don't do Dark Souls 2 and don't do Nightreign again, please. Do everything else that you've been doing. Everything else
Okay,
you've been doing, do that. Don't do these two things.
interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, thank you for the 20 hours, and I'll see you on the next one.
20 hours,
The
forty
next one
bucks. You're
next
not
year.
you're not getting that level. That's good ROI, entertainment wise. You're not getting that anywhere else.
Yep. Next year, they're releasing the Nintendo Switch
Yeah, the not
exclusive,
Bloodborne on Switch,
not Bloodborne,
which
something Born or something Blood, something.
I think it's
Yeah,
something totally different. But
Yes,
clearly the
something dark.
yeah.
something dark.
Hard. Oh, whoa! You just got louder. Oh, you're over there. That's why.
Okay. Um, Anything else exciting on your end, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I want to give a kudo to my son because my son
Right.
has made me discover a real life sport that I was not aware of, and you will understand quickly why it's so important. So I'm going to show you what he prepared,
Let's have a
and you
look.
tell me if you have heard of that sport before. Autoball.
Oh,
It
wow.
looks familiar.
It looks
It
familiar,
looks
right?
familiar.
Oh,
Love
wait a
it.
second. Is this a real
Yeah.
life thing?
Yes.
Shut up and take my money.
It's cars and football or big balls. So the funny
Awesome.
thing, because obviously he has investigated as is to present that, is that it was very popular in like the 50s.
Hmm.
Then it kind of disappeared, and then it came back, I think, 10 years ago or a few years ago, and it's now a chicken and egg. Is it because of the popularity of Rocket League, or is it the other way around? It comes obviously from Germany because it's about cars and doing things with cars and stuff. And I found funny that it exists, and it's also there's kind of real life Rocket League. Um,
Yeah, I wonder if Psyonix was aware of that when they were developing it, because like
yeah,
it's not like the most out there idea, right?
no.
But like the fact that it existed before meant they might have been.
Yeah. So you learn something new every day. That was my
Very cool.
finding of the week.
That's amazing. I'm trying to look for a video
It
of this.
and I mean, let's say it's sport. It's more of a show. Okay, it's like in a but. If you find a video, there are video around. Look at the size of the audience. They are filling stadium with that.
Because I could definitely see that in America too, with sort of the monster truck
Yeah, similar.
world. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you know, do you know what it's called or how I can search for it?
Autoball
Autoball.
with 2 L.
Let me see if I can find that. Oh, here we go. Second semifinal, and this is Ireland, Germany.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. This is exciting. This is what esports needs to be.
Physical.
There is something on the line. But is it only 2 cars? We need to see more cars.
It did. You have 1v1, 2v2, but at some point it becomes too crowded.
You can only fit so many cars.
Look at
That
that
was a
goal.
great move. That was so good.
I want to see explosions. Where's the explosions?
They can't jump also neither. But
We
anyway,
Why is the trunk open? Oh, okay.
yeah, it's cheating. Maybe it's cheating,
Yeah.
Amazing. This is amazing. Finally, somebody figured out something that we need to watch.
Yeah. So
do you guys watch fighting, like MMA or something like that, or karate?
No, I did boxing when I was younger until I realized that I was finding it very stressful to get punched in the face.
I mean, it seems like you have experience getting punched in the face, which is a good thing. A lot of people don't have that experience.
No, and you get used to it, definitely.
Hopefully.
And I like doing it. It was definitely the most intense thing I've ever done in my life. But like at a certain point, you realize there are 3 ways to avoid a punch. There is blocking, dodging, and there is stop giving people permission to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
So in other words, running.
Or not participating in boxing.
Amazing.
And you also know the famous quote: "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love that one. What I was trying to get to is there was a new quote unquote sport. It's not really a sport. It's called power slap, which is basically you take turns slapping each other. Which is it's a terrible show in my opinion. I don't think it has taste. But what I want to get to is I feel like if you want to introduce a new sport like this, Autoball. I mean, we're talking like now it's exciting. Now it's like just make it a bigger arena. Put maybe 3 cars instead of 1. Have a goalie and
I think 2v2 is probably the sweet spot.
2v2.
You would need a real big arena to support 3 cars. I feel like this is from my expertise of hybrid automotive sports, of course.
Monster truck is a big thing. I mean, maybe monster truck with balls.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think monster trucks are very maneuverable, so that would make it a lot more difficult. However, you could definitely use the kind of stadiums and stuff that you're working with, use rally cars or something like that.
it could be fun to see
Yeah.
like like destruction derby meets
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you, Manu, for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
And give our regards to your son.
Yes.
Dave, are you doing anything?
Am I doing anything? My face is
Apart
a little
from
red. I just got back from squash. I beat
squash.
Wilco, which I'm feeling good about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got. I'm still moving through Claire's gear. It's been a little busy recently, so I've just kind of almost finished Act 1, I believe. But I'm still I still like don't want to outfit a whole team. That's my biggest stumbling block. I've always hated equipment in party-based RPGs, even though this is pretty straightforward, but still awesome. Still enjoying it.
Has any of you finished Claire, by the way?
No. Nope.
Nope. I'm just hearing. I'm almost 20 hours in. If you remember, I was saying to you that I have a hard time deciding if I should continue or if I should move over to the new Elden Ring. I will tell you this: I will absolutely 100% finish Clair Obscure, regardless of what happens this year.
Mhm.
I'm absolutely going to finish that game. And talking to the same people, the two other people that I'm playing Elden Ring with, they're like they constantly talk about it. And those people, one of them, I would not count as like a hardcore gamer that plays every day, but they are so adamant about finishing Claire and playing that game all the way, and they're having so much fun playing that game. I'm having so much fun playing that game. It's an anomaly in some regards on so many levels. And Manu, you were mentioning this very early on, like, oh, hey, it's a game of the year. I would say it's absolutely game of the year. If it's not game of the year, I'm probably gonna, flip.
There is time left. It is only June, of course.
Yes,
Can be GTA.
of course.
Yeah.
But I think like I'm having a hard time not seeing this.
Yeah, it's the front runner, definitely.
Absolutely. And we had some really good games this year already.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm still beating. I don't think anyone else is talking about it, but I'm still beating that Echoes of Wisdom drum. Or was that last fall?
I don't know.
That game is. It's not. I don't think anyone's going to be put it on the game of the year list, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
How about this, my friends? How about we just take a quick look? I know you highlighted some things for us later or earlier this week, Manu.
Well, if it was earlier this week, we can also, because last night was the state of play, which is a big.
Oh yes,
So
I did not look at that. Have you had a chance to look at it?
I've looked at like the chat in my like Slack of what everyone was talking about. So that's how I've experienced it so far.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a quick look at this thing quickly because we haven't done that for a while, and then I would love to hear your thoughts, and then you can tell me, and then we can move over to the.
Can you go 24-hour peak?
24-hour peak.
The sorting.
In the sorting. Here we go.
Yeah.
What is standing out to you here? Or what
Elden Ring, Nightreign had a strong start. Obviously, there is a lot of hype, but let's see if it keeps on going. It's still much lower than Monster Hunter Wilds, for example. I think Monster Hunter Wild went far close to 1 million. I think it may be somewhere down.
Of course, these numbers are Steam only, so they don't include Grow a Garden, which is still on top.
Yeah. So we're not there yet. And then another interesting thing is Deltarune.
Mm-hmm.
Dead what?
Delta.
Run. Sorry, I thought you said dead.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
No, Deltarune, number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9.
There you go.
Ooh, what's this?
It's Toby Fox.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
You don't know Toby Fox?
Undertale. Senor Undertale.
Oh, Undertale. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the heart there gives it away.
Yeah, it's been working on it for many, many years, but I think what has happened is that it's released. I don't know if it's released new chapters or if just released it as an official. Yes.
Okay. What other highlights? I'm just trying to show some stuff in the background while you talk.
Because you cannot underestimate the impact of Undertale on the video game industry. On many levels.
Yeah.
as a game, as a merchandising, as an IP. So I think the music is iconic also. So I
Yep.
think whenever a new game is coming from the kind of that type of creator, it's always an event. It's not a live service game. It's not it's not gonna showcase a number of players maybe, but it's just been there for so long, and I think it's probably not played that much on Steam. Undertale is played on console, on portable
Switch.
devices also.
Yeah, a lot of Switch. I feel like it also it got people thinking about engines in a really different way because it was made on RPG Maker, which I think there was a time when people would have been more dismissive of that, and
Mhm.
it made people kind of reconsider some of those assumptions.
Yeah.
Helldivers is making a comeback as well.
All
Yeah.
right, Helldivers.
They launched the event where it's on Earth, if I understood correctly. So that's always super exciting when you come, instead of being on an unknown planet, you kind of coming to a familiar setting.
Yeah, we were talking to Yusuf about that at Nordic, Casey.
You were talking to who? Oh yeah, Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? New DLC. I forgot the name of it.
Earth
Something
something.
democracy. Something democracy.
No,
No.
democracy was before.
Oh.
Oh, maybe yes. Earth of democracy. No, Earth like
I'll just write democracy. We'll see what
Good.
we get. Heart of democracy.
yes, Heart of democracy.
Let's have a look at that trailer. I mean, I was not expecting Helldivers to continue to keep, but it seems like they have found a rhythm now.
Yeah.
To releasing content and bringing people back in,
Mm-hmm.
which is the right way to go. Feels almost like Warframe-ish in that approach.
And
Really cool.
content that really changes the vibe in a really big way.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of new content that I personally haven't seen working there. So it's really cool to see. And they're really banking on the what's the movie called again? You have to help me.
Starship Troopers.
Thank you, Starship Troopers. They're really banking on these tropes and then these themes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to see. Okay, that's really cool. Any other takeaways from the charts here?
Have we lost schedule 1?
Schedule 1. Thank you for.
Yeah, not seeing that.
64. Yes. Have we lost
Yeah.
repo?
Repo .r.e. There you go.
29.
You know, that's not nothing.
Okay.
Not bad. Seems like these games might, hopefully they don't die off, but maybe it's one of like those things where they have this peak and then they maybe release something after 3-6 months or something like that. They can make a smaller
Well, that's
comeback.
important. These are not live service games, so like they're already successful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's okay.
Absolutely.
They're measured in sales, not concurrence.
Especially if you're like a one-man band and you're set for life. So okay, really cool stuff. Thank you. And then there was the PlayStation Showcase. What is it called again? PlayStation
State of Play.
State of Play.
Yeah, so I need to dive more about it. It seemed like there's some cool stuff. I'm so excited about Hitman, or not Hitman.
James Bond.
James Bond. He hits men. I'm very, very excited about that. I mean, it was such a great crossover concept when they first announced it, and still looking good.
Sorry, give me a second here. I'm trying to.
I'm curious about Nioh 3.
Yeah, Nioh has like steadily improved.
Yeah, absolutely.
From 1 to 2, so super curious. And also, in between that, they did Wu. Not what was it? I was about to say Wu Tang. I don't think it was Wu Tang. It was the Three Kingdoms. Team Ninja did the Three Kingdoms thing, and I really liked that. It was good.
There was also an announce of Final Fantasy Tactics, something.
Yeah. And I don't personally know a lot about Lumines, but some of my friends were very excited about Lumines. Yeah, I mean, it's time. It's time to dust off the old hits, and this is an exciting one.
Is this a remake or the Tactics one?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a remake or just a new entry in the series.
Hmm.
Man, that's some nice visuals.
I mean, this immediately, for me, screams like, okay, finally, they're back to something different other than having, like, what they've been doing the past 10 years. This is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Damn it.
I can go through the list on what I'm seeing here on this.
There's a fighting game. Yeah, there's another Marvel fighting game.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel versus Marvel.
Marvel versus Marvel.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's I believe it's got a Japanese aesthetic to it. Yeah.
Marvel. No. Okay. Give me a second. Let me see what we can learn here. Tokon? Is this the one?
Yes.
Fighting Souls?
Yes.
Fighting Souls. Well, that's going to be interesting. But there's no relationship to Marvel, right?
The Heroes.
Heroes?
It's a Marvel game.
Oh, it's just a pure Marvel fighting game.
Yeah.
But made by Capcom. Or
I don't know who's doing it.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel fighting game. Yeah.
So it's like the DC fighting game. I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, this is cool. It does look like a Capcom game right now, but you never know.
Yeah.
Or I hope Capcom is behind it. This is really beautiful, by the way.
I'm liking the Gundam Iron Man.
Yeah.
This is really beautiful.
Yeah, really cool. I'm still, I think Street Fighter 7 did a lot of good work. But I was talking to a friend about this last night that, like, I feel like the sweaty competitive scene, as much as we love them, sort of kidnapped fighting games for a really long time. And I hope we can eke them back to the mainstream.
This has to be made by Capcom. I have to figure out who's behind this.
It's probably written in the description of the.
It can't be that difficult information to ascertain, though.
We can get to the bottom of that. But this is, this is amazing.
So we have to start a new game.
What do you mean?
What's going to be the next Marvel game?
Ooh, I like that. Cozy? Can we get a cozy game? I guess Midnight Suns had a cozy element to it.
We had a card game. Was it Midnight Sun? A bit of a strategy.
No, Midnight Suns was like XCOM style squad tactics.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it had like in between the battles there was like a hangout with your buddies, sort of like cozy dating kind of.
We have lost one game, by the way, and it's the first part of the newsletter. We've lost Black Panther in the.
Yeah. That's
we'll get to that.
That's a tough one.
But just quickly, this Marvel fighting game is made by Arc System Works. It's this PlayStation studio.
Yeah.
All right.
But this is impressive.
Very impressive.
Really impressive.
And that's a big win for PlayStation Studios. At least, so far, just from the buzz. And if it works, that'll be good.
Yeah. So let's just tie it off with what Manu was mentioning, because it's not a big win for EA, though.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So this is official now? EA cancels the Black Panther game?
Yeah, shut down the studio that was like built for that. Yeah.
Yeah, as with all these things, we can never be 100% sure. At least we can't 100% sure of like what state the game is, if this was the right decision or not. But it sucks to see regardless.
Okay.
I think there were also rumors, I don't know if it has been confirmed, that they will close the Codemaster Studios, but more like from a brand perspective. But
wow.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I don't think there was. Maybe there was not a denial, but like the opposite of a confirmation.
Yeah.
Were they messing around with NFTs at some point or something like that?
Sorry?
I can't remember. Was Codemasters messing around with NFTs at some point?
NFTs? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
About that. Before EA then.
No, they haven't released anything related to that.
Yeah.
Maybe F1 Delta Time, one of the first major NFT games.
Yeah, I'm seeing that same, but yeah, I don't think so. Okay, that's good. I've talked to people from Codemasters, and I've always enjoyed them. So that would have been disappointing. But yeah, racing's tough, especially kind of more realistic racing.
Absolutely.
So how about we go back? Is there any other? So there's there's a James Bond game you mentioned. Is there any trailer on that thing?
Yes, but it's more of a
That is a hilarious looking James
cinematic.
Bond. Yeah, that guy. I mean, I don't really care,
It's just
but that guy does not look a whole lot like James Bond. Though he does kind of
like
look like
Tom
Aaron
Cruise.
Taylor Johnson, who also to me is way too young to be James Bond.
Fortnite James. It looks like Fortnite James Bond.
Yeah,
John C.
definitely.
John C. James Bond. John C. Bond.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Drake too, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's probably the same voice.
No, I mean, you
Right.
just get him to do everything.
Guys, this is Tom Cruise.
That's
also
not Tom Cruise.
It's Tom Cruise.
That's not Tom Cruise.
Let's see if I can find a video for us to look at, because I assume you both saw the videos I haven't seen anything yet.
it looks very exciting to be honest, and I think Hitman games are amazing, but they are kind of within one map, and there is some storyline between the maps, but it feels it's not that much of a linear progression. It's more like a sandboxy approach. But if they can combine the best element of Hitman and add a layer of story and maybe a bit more of a corridor part to it, scripted part maybe, I think this could be super cool to play and just to watch. Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm also very excited, but sort of from the other direction, where I'm just like, I want as much Hitman game as I can get. I don't care if it stars James Bond or Agent 47. Just give me more of like sandbox spy stuff.
What I'm seeing on screen reminds me a lot of the Machine Games execution of The Last Ark. Was it Indiana Jones?
Yeah, there's this
The Lost or the Last? I forgot which one it was.
The golden something.
Yes. Thank you. Because the vibes I'm getting, and IO Interactive, they haven't released anything outside of Hitman for maybe 10 years, maybe more even.
Yeah, they were hiring for like a fantasy thing at some point too, I think.
Yeah, but the studio has gone through a lot of changes, and like they've expanded. They are co-publishing or publishing. What was the other game? Yeah. Mind's Eye. Thank you.
Yeah, that seems like it might be a little dicey, but I think Hitman has done really well for them. I think commercially, it's done really well for them, and clearly in like these tools that they have built out to build sandbox levels, and it's just Hitman has a pretty impeccable reputation in the industry.
Yeah.
So so I think that is probably, that last bit is probably the most important thing when it comes to this project. That people want to work on it. Fans want to buy it. Like it's an exciting thing.
And they really went the right way, I think, with Hitman IP when they released World of Assassination, and then they made different missions and maps available as a purchasable content. Remaster. I think I don't know. It feels like they did it right with that IP without feeling too much like it's just milking something over and over and over. I think it's just really great that they kept also all of the content released until then available somehow. That's also quite cool.
And the way they were able to make new content through like the elusive targets, and they did some great like map repurposing. Like one of their most famous levels is this like seaside Italian town.
Yeah.
And so then later they made it so like they were filming a movie in the main square and you had to kill the star.
And I think for Casey, listen to me. This is the closest you can get to a single player live service game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And maybe it's one of the first ones ever to kind of like, go that route.
Genshin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to put a final note on the 007 game. I'm getting Uncharted vibes. I love that.
I mean, they have similar DNA, right? They both come out of 1930s pulp, basically.
Adventure. We need adventure. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I also see some opportunity for multiplayer, potentially.
I was reading the story of when Ian Fleming, Ian Fleming was like a spy in DC with Roald Dahl, the guy who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And like all they did was like go to parties and like and like drink with people and try and convince them to get U.S. into World War II. But they did like one spy thing where they broke into some offices and changed some maps. And like Ian Fleming just got so excited about that James Bond was born.
Interesting. Let me look at the list. There's a Silent Hill F as well. I noticed I just stopped sharing my screen. Give me a second. Let me just get back to that.
Oh, yeah, I have a trivia question about James Bond. I don't know if we are shifting.
Tell me, what is
Go.
it you have in
Always
your mind?
hands down.
Who was this inspiration for the real life James Bond? That was the inspiration for Ian Fleming.
Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy is like, I think Christopher Lee and perhaps Bob Marley are the coolest people that have ever lived.
Yes, Christopher Lee is an exceptional artist.
I'm happy we have Dave here to, give that answer, because I would probably.
Yes.
I'm also terrible at trivias. We're looking at
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill F. I don't know what the F stands for, but it seems like it's
Fun.
set in
It looks
Japan.
real. It looks fun. It looks fun to me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting what is it called? Is it called Siren? You remember Siren? What's it called? The PS2 maybe games.
Is this Bloober as well?
Bloober.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Didn't Bloober make?
Is that with the kid who, the child?
No, didn't Bloober make the Silent Hill remake?
I don't remember.
Could be. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Published by Konami, but developed by Bloober.
Okay. So this is a different hill that is silent.
Yeah,
Not the
it's
same
it's,
one.
it's still silent.
It's still silent, but it's not in the U.S. Oh, good lord, that's scary.
Ew. Yeah.
I see a lot of the DNA from Silent Hill 2 is coming out here. Really interesting. Okay, I think we've seen enough.
Yeah, we might need to have a content warning.
We might want to have a content warning on that one. I don't know how that works. Somebody will have to solve it for us. Please do. I'm too old to understand where things need to go. Okay, let me just go through the list. So we already covered 007. There's a Ghost of Yotai trailer. We don't need to look at that. Final Fantasy Tactics. We looked at the not the Marvel vs. Capcom, sorry. The new Marvel fighting game. Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night is getting a prequel in 2026. That could be interesting.
I honestly, I only played like 2 hours of Ritual of the Night. I love Metroidvanias, but that just didn't catch me for whatever reason. I think the map was too big, which sounds like a kind of a minor gripe, but it really changes the way that you interact with things.
I forgot.
This is some Castlevania looking stuff right here.
I mean, it is the same director, I assume.
Yeah, but it's a much more advanced looking thing.
Yeah. Obviously, all the vibes are Castlevania vibes, to be honest.
Yeah. I have not detected one non-Castlevania vibe.
But I was wondering, because this studio and this creative director specifically, again, sorry for not remembering the name. I know he left Konami. There was a wave, if you remember, a couple of years ago, and then he did the Kickstarter, I think, for...
Yeah, it was one of the first super successful Kickstarters of that type.
Hell yeah. I think
that
they raised
and the
$3 million.
Mighty Number 9 was the other one, but this one did a lot better than that.
Yeah, the Mega Man dude was not as successful with that game, unfortunately. But this is looking great, by the way.
Yeah, super. I really hope this is as awesome as the trailer indicates.
Yeah. I will move us over to another thing then on the list here. Abzu Studio, they're making another game.
Huh.
Have you looked at that one? It's called Sword of the Sea. So they're kind of doing the same type of themes, I guess.
They like the ocean. Though this is a desert.
This looks like Journey. This is Journey-like.
It does look like. It also looks like. It looks like Journey, and it looks like. What's that mobile game?
This is
Alto's
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
This is not okay.
Wait. You didn't look at your screen while you were talking. So look again.
I am looking right now.
No, again, before.
Before, should I go back one step?
10 seconds.
Don't tell me it's Journey related.
10
Give me a second.
seconds.
Here?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
are you talking about the flag stuff?
go.
Give me a second. Let me have a look at this again. Because
Okay.
I'm okay.
Go.
Yeah,
Continue.
keep
Okay.
going. Keep going.
Okay. Take it easy. Okay.
No, I will tell you to stop. Stop.
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
I was too quick on pulling that trigger. I'm
This is
sorry.
not okay. Yes.
So,
That took us so long
apologies.
to do that.
Okay, apologies to everybody who's behind Abzu and Journey. So
Yeah, because when you were saying that, I was like, yeah, what? I wasn't Abzu from most people. Yeah,
this is exactly why we have Manu here. Okay, to
exactly.
balance things out. So, for those who are only listening, I'm gonna just read the trailer, which is from the visionary artists behind Abzu, the Pathless, and of course Journey. As I'm gonna click play here to continue watching. A really beautiful game, looks very Journey-like, and you have this dude on a sword, almost riding the waves on the desert.
These are the kinds of games that I really feel like I really wish that I could be in the mental state to really enjoy these games. I feel they are kind of this meditative thing, and I'm never gonna. I need to like carve out time that I am not going to carve out in
Yeah,
order to fully experience the way this game wants me to feel.
that's cool. Yeah, Journey was fine, and these are short experience. It can be an afternoon play. Just
Yeah, but
then
where am I finding an app? If you've got an afternoon for me, tell me.
I'll book you, and I will tell you to play.
All right, I like it.
This is almost like a surfing game, almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me of Alto's Odyssey, which I really like. That's a great. I think perhaps the best endless runner ever made.
What's that other game? Roller Dome, maybe? Do you know that game?
Yeah.
Roller Dome? Oh, you have to know about that game. Come on. Okay. I have to show you that game just quickly so you know what I'm talking about. Have you seen this game?
Oh, wow.
This was released, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. It's available on Game Pass. If you have access to Game Pass, you should absolutely 100% play this game. But the other game that we talked about, I forgot the name of it already. We can go back
Wow.
to it.
It's
Um,
Mobius. It's Mobius.
Private
Outside.
Division. Yeah.
But in this one, you are on roller skates and you are like shooting enemies and that type of stuff. But the point here is the mechanics are so fun to play. And when you hit your vibes, if you remember the old Tony Hawk games, you're like
Okay.
you're hitting everything and you're doing them correctly, and you just pick up more speed, that type of thing.
Okay.
Amazing game, amazing.
This is
Oh.
the games like this make me depressed because I just see that they look so incredible and so fun and clearly possessed of such talent and creativity. But man, is the modern video game industry a tough place to be.
It
I,
is
I,
absolutely.
I want a story-driven game there, not
Yeah.
a skill-based game.
Manu, believe me, like there are certain games, and this is one of them, Roller Dome. The other one is, of course, Sword of the Sea that we just watched.
Yeah,
The point here is, like, I think now, obviously, the Sword of the Sea might have more
Journey.
more story.
Discovery.
But what I'm trying to get to is when you look at the gameplay, it's like, and this is the same thing with, if you remember Vampire Survivors, I usually talk about that game.
Mhm.
Like, you spend your time there, you're having fun. Like, that's the point, right? So absolutely, I think it's worth looking at it. I'm just going to back quickly here, and maybe we're not even going to go through the newsletter today.
Yeah, it might
At
just
this
be a state
stage.
of the play situation. Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
Mortal Kombat Collection. No, sorry, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection with a K on all the C's, of course.
Mhm.
I assume that they just had to, of course. So
I'm always interested by that because, of course, when you put a K in the place of a C in an American context, obviously this is pretty classic. This is very well established in the Mortal Kombat brand, and yet still a K in the place of a C in an American context is always cool.
Of course.
Except in New Orleans,
This one,
where you call it a crew. With a K.
sorry, Dave. I'm
Sorry,
getting the
that
same
was pretty-
vibes from the Street Fighter collection, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Of course, you have Ed Boon, who's been doing Mortal Kombat games for the past 30 plus years, I think.
Must be funny to like wake up one day and realize that you've been making Mortal Kombat games for 30 years.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
It was such a good guy. I met him like a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, I
Amazing.
remember seeing these reference things. Those are so cool, where they had people dress up. The reference animations for the originals.
They
And how
were the
does it?
ones. You remember when many tried to copy what they did with like the realism 2D thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Manu, you were saying something?
Yeah, what does it feel to think that you've been playing Mortal Kombat games for 30 years?
Yeah.
It feels like I haven't been making them.
I remember exactly where I was for first and second Mortal Kombat. I think I was just in arcade rooms.
I had the Game Gear,
Ah,
and you needed to, if you had the AC adapter for the Game Gear, so you could play for longer. It was
ah,
incredibly finicky, so you had to hold it completely still, or else your thing would shut off and you'd lose all your progress.
yeah,
I'm gonna
good times.
show you. Sorry, guys, for constantly jumping here because we don't have much time. I'm gonna show you Nioh here. Nioh 3 announced.
Mm.
That game has. I feel like that game has, or that franchise had lived its own life in some sense. Like it
Yeah,
had
definitely.
its core audience and it does its own thing.
I mean, it's definitely, I think, at this point, probably the most well-respected non from Souls-like. And it's great. They're very cool games. I always did get pretty overwhelmed by them because they have so much inventory. God, this is some good looking stuff here.
Yeah.
So much inventory and like so many different stances and weapons, and it becomes quite difficult to keep track of it all. But these are some the enemy design, top notch,
This is
and
the
this just tight, good.
I
ninja. Sorry.
Whoa, that samurai just turned into a ninja.
I remember a time where we were dying for the next Dark Souls game because they were only From Software doing a Dark Souls game, and now you have
Yeah.
so many other games like that with that formula.
Yes, Souls like.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Nioh 1 or 2 where one of the enemies was a giant blob of water. And it was in this arena where you could just like fall straight into the water and die all the time. And I couldn't get anyone like to summon to help me with it. And I just got so annoyed and stopped playing.
I mean, you absolutely see the Team Ninja DNA in this game. I'll move over to the next one here then. Metal Gear Solid 3 teases certainly. So there's a teaser. Looks like they might be doing Metal Gear Online again. Is that real? I would love to see Metal Gear Online. Metal Gear 5 was not successful with its online component, unfortunately. But Metal Gear 4, like 15 years ago, that was an amazing experience. Unfortunately, not that many people got to play it because it was PS3 exclusive. And then there's Suda 51 revealing an ultra-violent science fiction game featuring an FBI agent. I'm not sure if you've seen this one as well. Romeo is a dead man. Isn't there a movie called Romeo's Dead? No.
Romeo Must Die.
Jet Li. Yes,
Yeah.
Jet Li.
No, Romeo is Bleeding. And Romeo is Bleeding with Gary Oldman.
That is a different movie, but Romeo Must Die is also a
Absolutely.
movie. Yeah,
But the good movie is Romeo is Bleeding.
Yeah. There was also, I watched a movie called Romeo and Juliet, Sealed with a Kiss, in which is Romeo and Juliet, except all the characters are seals and walruses.
Huh.
And in the end, when Juliet is dead, Mercutio, who is apparently also still alive, he surfs in and he yells at Romeo to wake up, and he does, and everything's great. Great movie.
What we're looking at right now is pretty graphical, so I will give that warning.
And we're swimming through some blood cells here.
There are blood cells. Very interesting choice of graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Very Suda.
Yeah. Looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
I'm getting some vibes from, if you're familiar with the manga Biomega. No.
Interesting, yes.
Yeah. But this is okay. Now the gameplay we're seeing the guy has a sword. Okay,
yeah, very Suda. I wonder if it will have like some kind of star-crossed lover component to it. If the name Romeo is intentional for that reason.
What's that franchise that he did before this one? That
No
is
More
very
Heroes.
similar. Come again?
No more heroes.
No More Heroes. Thank you.
Oh,
This is absolutely Dead Man. Romeo's a Dead Man. Okay, I'll move
Looks
over to the next
great.
one. Sorry, guys. I have to. Unfortunately, I think I have another meeting. Digimon Story? There's something there. I love Digimon. The non-Pokemon game.
Yeah, I think that's a very classic setup, right? It's basically the League of Legends of pocket monstering.
This is cool. And then finally, Capcom says sorry again, confirming Pragmata is real. What is Pragmata? Do we know?
It's that thing that you've just clicked on.
Let's have a look at this. There's a game coming by Capcom next year, Pragmata. That's one of the games that was shown yesterday or today, 2 days ago. Do we know what this is? There's a lot of cool graphics and stuff.
no.
I'm sure the Delphi Corporation is totally above board. They won't do anything evil.
There's a scary little kid.
Yeah.
Robots.
But yeah,
Okay.
I think
Oh, that was.
it's like that Alison Williams movie.
This is like Death Stranding-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was cool. That was cool. The movement
Yeah.
of the kid on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. You remember that? I'm getting those vibes. The game where you have a suit and you're like really fast, like you can hack and slash through enemies.
You're thinking of Metal Gear Rise: Revengeance.
Yes.
Not that one. It was the same era. I have it here somewhere. I can't figure it out. But you're like, you have guns and you can also like use a sword, and you can like dash. You're very quick and dashing,
Not sure.
like you are, Dave.
I'm very quick. I'm very
And
dashing, and I can, but choose not to use a sword.
Okay, I can't find it. Never mind. Gentlemen, I will do this. So we won't go through the news. The news
What?
is coming out today, of course. I will let you pick one thing. That is obviously we already went through the highlight, which is EA cancels Black Panther. But is there any other thing, a singular thing that we would like to highlight from this?
So let's look at this Black Ops 6 thing. I'm interested by that. I feel like to read it, people have put advertisements into the loadouts, and people don't like it. And I think that this is really this is the live service devil's bargain that so many of these companies have made, and I think this is really going to start coming to a head in the next 2 years. That like revenue cannot grow infinitely with these things, and people are going to break these games by trying to make it do so.
This is absolutely a highlight. Manu, why is this not a highlight?
Because they reverted instantly.
Oh. Well, I still feel like it deserves a highlight. Like, hey, as a warning, in case you're reading this, don't do
that.
Come on, it's not advertisement of third parties. It's just advertisement of your own shop and your own bundles and your own battle pass. Just to be clear.
But it's going in. But
it's still advertising. Yeah.
Is it going in the way of gameplay?
No.
It's in the loadouts. It's just like it's a place where there were not ads and there are no ads.
But I think I see because in the loadout you just want to customize your shit. You want to focus on that, and then here they are trying to shove this thing in your face. Like, hey, stop doing that thing. Look at this thing and buy this thing. That's what
I can so easily imagine the out of touch suit way of describing that, where they'd be like, no, this is great. This is people are looking at their equipment anyways. We want them to be thinking about the new equipment they can buy.
Have a look on my link in the chat.
Your link in the chat. Let's have a look at that.
All right, test and added in there.
This is the last link.
That's always a good gambit. That we didn't mean it.
Oh wow! So this is the PR. Is that what you're referencing, Manu?
Yes.
The damage control. Well, maybe it was an A/B test.
Hmm.
They could be doing an A/B test and
Yeah.
but still people caught on and started sharing it.
Yep.
I will say, by the way, as part of my latest journeys of playing games, we did play Call of Duty and Warzone, and we went into the old map Verdansk, is it called? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we were having so much fun because it was so easy for us to find things and know where things are and locate it and all that locations. So I was like, don't remove that, please. Stop removing stuff that people like. And we
Yeah.
don't
One of
need
the
more
issues
maps.
with battle royale, with battle royale, you have to be very careful because the player counts are so high. You can't
Yeah.
split people up too much.
I was talking to another PUBG person today. I was like, we don't need more maps. Like the first PUBG map was amazing. We just need more content and more, I guess, updates and different things to do in the map. But you don't have to change the entire map for us to have fun. Okay, gentlemen, I have to go to another meeting. You have been fantastic. It has been fun talking to you today. Really appreciate it. I forgot to mention this. I should have in the beginning. Please like, subscribe, hit the buttons, all these things that I thought didn't matter. They actually matter, apparently. Okay? So please,
Who would have thought?
who would have thought? But there's algorithms and there's like these things that don't want you to watch us and watch other things. So please help us watch us. Something like that.
Good.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Dave, Manu, you guys are awesome. Again, thank you so much for your knowledge and expertise. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Day. Bye.